Now let's pause now for all of our affiliates of the Sports Channel Network. The Wildcats have tied it up. 1 run on 1 hit. The big home run by Hegdorn, and we head now to the 9th inning. It's all tied. Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. Moving now to the top half of the 9th inning, and it's all tied up. Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. As over the last inning, we have seen a couple of big home runs. The one hit for the Wildcats by Brad Hegdorn. And in the top half of the 8th inning, it was Tucker Howard homering for the Louisville Cardinals. We stand 3-3 now as Louisville comes to the plate. Jason Mikalakis to lead it off for the Cards.
Rob, a trio of defensive changes for Kentucky. Mark Etter is now at third. Tom Clemert is in left field. And Chad Estep is in center field.
Paul Morse still working on the mound. Here's his 1-0 pitch. That's outside. It's 2-0.
Well, he doesn't want to get behind hitters now. There's just no room for mistakes. You can't let base runners get on. You can't walk them on.
2-0 pitch. Cut on and missed by Mikalakis, and it's 2-1.
You see Billy Thompson shaking his head. That's what he liked. Watch this kick. That's Juan Marichal right there. Takes that ball down low, generates a lot of power.
Mikalakis looking out at Morse.
Another good pitch.
Count evens now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Louisville scoring 2 times in the top half of the 8th inning. Home run by Tucker, a double by Allen, a single by Darren Opel to tie the game. Wildcats coming back on the home run by Hegdorn in the bottom half of the inning. We're in the top of the 9th now, and it's cut out and missed, strike 3. Mikalakis strikes out. First strikeout posted by Paul Morse. And the hitter now will be catcher Scott Klein.
It's a breaking pitch. He's out of the strike zone. And if you can get a hitter out, keeping the ball out of the strike zone, you're much better off.
Morse working to Klein, and Klein has indeed enjoyed a good evening. Couple of doubles on the night. Scored a run.
And that was the overhand curve. Went straight down. If he gets that pitch over, he's very tough. And he needs to do that if he wants to get Klein out.
Morris with the 0-1 delivery. And hit foul, out of play, off the light pole, down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes. Klein doubled the left center back in the 3rd. Doubled to center field in the 5th, then hit into that 6-4-3 double play in the 7th inning. Oh-2 pitch. And in the dirt, it's 1-2.
Just to show you, Rob, that the baseball philosophies have changed over the years. Third baseman Mark Etter, 10 years ago, would have been playing very close to the line, hugging that line, and they don't do that so much anymore. They play the hitter where they think the hitter is going to hit. That makes a lot more sense. Old-time baseball coaches and people would argue with you on that one, but it just makes more sense.
Yeah, this pitch way outside and in the dirt. Gets away from Billy Thompson, and the count even at 2-2. Throws out a new baseball. Nobody on base as the Louisville Cardinals bat here in the 9th inning. 1 out, game tied 3-3. It's been a good one here at Kentucky Shively Field. This pitch high and outside, and now the count is gone full. 3-2.
Klein doing a good job of working Morse, and now he's evened the situation, and Morse has to come in with a strike. So Klein's going to see a good pitch to hit. Fastball away.
3-2 delivery. And a call, strike 3. Scott Klein called out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for him here in the 9th inning. 2 away, and the hitter will be John Cuss.
Well, let's check this one out. That was well, that's not the angle that would best show it, but now you can't tell from here. Let's check it out this way.
Here it is from up above, and well,
it was close.
Close.
2 strikes, you should be swinging at a pitch like that.
Here's Cuss now. And a strike call, it's 0-1.
Good look at Keith Madison. Trying to keep his team on a roll. Keep that momentum going into the Vanderbilt series this weekend at Nashville.
There's a strike on the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. Wildcats play in Nashville this coming weekend. They have Vandy on the road, and then they have Georgia and South Carolina, both at home here at Shively Field. So really, when you look at the upcoming SEC schedule, it is favorable for Kentucky. Here's the 0-2. Hit on the ground and fielded by the first baseman Braga. He makes the play at first, and that's the inning.
Again, a perfectly executed play.
All right, we've played through 8.5 innings, heading now to the bottom half of the ninth. Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. We'll be right back. Under the lights here at Kentucky Shively Field in Lexington, Kentucky. We have played through 8.5 innings, and we're all tied. Louisville 3, Kentucky 3. And it has been, Tom Wallace, a fine ball game here tonight.
Excellent baseball game. If you're a baseball fan, then you've got to like this kind of play. It's very competitive. Both teams played very intelligent baseball. Both teams have executed very well. A lot of fun. I tell you, college baseball, Rob, it's a great bargain for the dollar.
Well, Mark Etter now is going to come up and lead it off for the Wildcats here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. He's hitting .158, has 2 homers. Etter, an infielder, has played in just 14 ball games, has started 4 games. And the pitch from Freibert is low, 1-0.
New catcher there for Louisville, Jason Heffron. Did a nice job of digging that one out.
And this pitch is in the dirt, so it's 2-0.
Well, obviously, Freibert's going to try to keep the ball down. He doesn't want to get it up where a hitter can get it out of here. He wants him to hit the ball on the ground.
2 balls and no strikes, with nobody on and nobody out here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. And it's now gone to 3-0. Etter steps out of the batter's box, gets a little bit of dirt, and takes a practice swing.
Well, 3-0. That'll be the only swing he'll take this time on this pitch is a practice swing. He's not going to swing at this pitch.
He lets this one go, and that's a called strike.
He may take this one. Kentucky needs a base runner.
Tom Clemert has come out in the on-deck circle. He'll be up there next. Clemert went into the ball game in the top half of the inning to play left field, and he will be the next hitter. This pitch, another call strike, and it's a full count now, 3-2.
A home plate umpire, Jay Kepperling, pointing right at you. Big pitch here. Fribert does not want to walk this man. Doesn't want to walk a leadoff man in the bottom of the ninth in a 3-3 game.
And a call, strike 3. Hatter didn't like it, thought it was inside, but strike 3 call, and he goes down looking.
Well, 3-2. I mean, he must have really thought it was a bad pitch, because with 2 strikes in that situation, if you have any doubt at all, you ought to be trying to at least fight it off. This is an excellent pitch, and it handcuffed him. There may not have been much he could do with it. It's on the inner half of the plate. Yeah, it just ties him up. Good pitch.
Here's Tom Clemert now, a young man out of Manhattan, Kansas, a senior, 6'3", 185 pounds, hitting only 125 on the season. Attended Butler County Junior College out in Kansas. Juke All-American his sophomore year. He hits it foul back here to the right side. That evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Come on. I have any.
Starting to get some changes now here in the late innings. Clemert coming into play left field in the top of the ninth.
No, back ball.
He's now hitting in the number 9 position in the order. This pitch high inside, and it's 2-1.
Numbers on Clemert. No home runs this year, 125 average.
Tough thing is he has struck out 20 times in 56 at-bats. And he gets the bat on the ball here. That'll drop into right center field. That's a base hit. Only the 8th hit that Tom Clemert has had all season. He was 7 for 56 coming in here tonight. That is a big, big single with 1 out. The potential winning run now at first base.
Yeah, Jeff Michael coming up. He's just a home run away. You say just a home run, but he's a home run away from hitting for the cycle. Single, double, and triple already tonight. So he's had a good day at the plate. He'd like to keep it going.
The Kentucky shortstop 3 for 4 as he steps in here in the 9th. And the runner going. The ball hit down to third base. That's a foul ball. Kentucky grabbed the early lead 1-0 on a triple by Michael and a sacrifice fly by Matt Braga. Louisville came back to tie it up with a run in the 3rd. Then the Wildcats moved in front with a run in the 5th. But Louisville struck 2 times in the 8th. On a home run, a double, and a single to take a 3-2 lead. Wildcats came up to tie it up in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And a home run by Hindersman. That's where we stand right now, 3-3. Clemert backsliding at first base.
Don't know if Keith Madison was trying to generate a run on that last pitch with the hit and run, or whether maybe Michael missed a signal. Clemert looked like he had the base stolen.
Here's another throw over to first. And Clemert back.
Showing him a lot of respect now. Good baseball, keeping the guy close. Tight game like this, you're looking for every advantage, both sides.
And another throw over to first. Michael stepping out of the batter's box now, looks down at Coach John Butler down in the third base coaching box. Now we're ready.
Big lead for Clemert.
And the 0-1. Count even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jan Weisberg coaching there at first, former Wildcat in the first base coaching box. And a good look at Fribert on the mound, who has done a fine job here in the late innings of this baseball game. Out of the stretch. And works to the plate, and it's chopped foul.
Again, Clemert was going, so Keith Madison not going to wait. He's going to try to make something happen. Aggressive baseball. He is a base runner with speed. Has a guy at the plate in Jeff Michael who has good bat control, who's going to hit the ball, put it in play. So he's going to take his chances.
1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Mark Etter called out on strikes to lead it off. Then Tom Clemert with a base hit into right. And a 1-2 count now on the Wildcat shortstop, Jeff Michael. Another throw over to first, and Michael, or rather Clemert, back easily.
Well, you don't figure Michael's going to strike out, so you're not looking at a strikeout throw-out double play, so they may send Clemert again.
Here's the pitch. And hit foul. Back just over our heads and out of play. Count holding at 1-2. Wildcats in a good position here, Tom, with the top of the order up now. 1 out in the inning. Want to avoid the double play. Michael at the plate. Braga waiting on deck.
Of course, on the other side, Frybert, he's wanting to throw a ground ball double play right now. He wants to get out of this thing, get into that 10th inning.
1-2 pitch. Popped up. Left side. Center fielder coming in. That's Charlie Allen. And the shortstop makes a fine play, Tommy Barnes, to catch that ball back over his head. I thought it would be deep enough for Charlie Allen, but it was Barnes who just kept going and going and going. He went almost halfway out into left center field.
Yeah, I don't know if there was some miscommunication on that one or whether the center fielder didn't see the ball. I think he lost this ball. This is a tremendous play by Tommy Barnes. He absolutely saved Louisville, bailed them all out. The center fielder, he had no clue. A great play by Tommy Barnes.
It really looked like Charlie Allen had lost the ball in the lights. But 2 out in the inning now, and here's Matt Braga.
Well, you got to believe that Keith Madison's going to send Clemert now, if at all possible. Left-handed hitter at the plate, tougher to make the throw, get him in scoring position.
Pitch way outside, and it's 1-0. Braga had that sacrifice fly in the first inning, then reached on an interference call in the third, walked in the fifth, flied out to left field in the seventh.
Well, you can't say enough about that play by Tommy Barnes. That was just a tremendous play.
Another throw over to first base. Would have been a whole different situation had that ball dropped in.
Yeah, he was going away. Just the fact that he realized that the center fielder didn't know where it was one thing, but to keep going with his back cut and make that play over his shoulder, that's a difficult play.
Frybert working to Matt Braga. Cut on and missed, and the ball gets away. Throw down to second, and out at second base. Good recovery by the Cardinal catcher, and they get the out as Clemert tries to go down and get into scoring position, and he is unable to do so. So here at Shively Field in Lexington, we are headed for extra innings. We have played through 9 as you get another look at the tag on Tom Clemert out at second. Into the 10th, it's Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. Rob Bromley along with Tom Wallace at Shively Field in Lexington, and we'll take another look at that play that ended the 9th inning for Kentucky as Tom Clemert was trying to get down to second, and Tom, he just couldn't quite make it.
Well, he did make it.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not even close. Watch this. He's there. Oh, yeah, he's there. That was not a straight steal. He didn't take off until the ball bounced away from Jason Heffron. And Heffron did a great job of recovering, like you said, Rob, and making a good throw. But here's Tommy Barnes. He's the hero for the day right now. Hero of the day for Louisville, especially after that last defensive play.
Barnes leading off the 10th, and he takes a strike. 0-1.
Morse came right after him with a fastball over the top.
Barnes with 1 hit on the night. So that came back in the 5th inning, but the catcher, Scott Klein, was thrown out trying to score, thrown out at home plate. And that ended the 5th inning for Louisville. Pitch low and away, and the count even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Barnes grounded short in the 1st, reached on an error in the 3rd, had the single in the 5th, and grounded out to short in the 8th inning. Batting for the 5th time tonight is Tommy Barnes out of Frankfort, Kentucky.
Mark Etter playing him right on the edge of the grass. I guess he probably knows that Barnes is capable of bunting, but he's not going to bunt in this situation. And he is hugging the line a little bit more. So go ahead.
Paul Morse now ahead in the count 1-2 as Barnes steps back in. Nobody on, nobody out here in the top of the 10th. That pitch low and away, and we're even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good pitch by Morse, out of the strike zone, breaking ball. Trying to get Barnes to go after something bad, get a cheap strike, cheap out.
Hit foul, back to the right side and out of play. And you can tell by the reaction of the crowd that ball may have found an automobile.
Kyle, you on that for me? You on that for me?
Well, it is now almost completely dark here in Lexington, Kentucky. This game with a 6 o'clock starting time here started in bright sunshine. Pitch way high and outside, and it's 3-2 now. Full count to Tommy Barnes, leading off the 10th inning for Louisville.
Well, we've said it before, Rob. The last thing Kentucky wants to do is let this guy lead off by getting on base. Give Louisville so many options.
Top of the order here for the Cardinals in the 10th. Joe Hegdorn waiting on deck. And Tucker Howard, the first baseman, will follow him. 3-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. And Morse records his strikeout. 1 out here in the 10th inning.
Big time pitch by Morse right there. He didn't look like an 18 or 19-year-old freshman. That was a pitch with purpose. Pitch with a lot of courage, a lot of conviction. Just kicked his leg up and came up with the hard fastball. Said, take it, do what you can with it, and Barnes couldn't handle it.
Here's Joe Hegdorn now, who came on in place of Keith Dillon back in the 6th inning. Hegdorn batting for the 3rd time. He is 0 for 2. Fly to center in the 6th and grounded out to second in the 8th. 1 ball and no strikes to him. This is a rapidly moving ball game through the first 5 or 6 innings or so. Slowed down somewhat in the late innings, and now we have gone to extra innings. Foul back in the count, even 1 ball and 1 strike.
Morse's fastball has a lot of velocity tonight, Rob. This is another young kid with a great arm. Great future ahead of him. Tremendous 3-sport athlete at Danville High School. Baseball, football quarterback, averaged 11 points a game as a senior on the basketball team. Guy can play.
His high school teams won a couple of football titles and won a state baseball title down there. Pitch is on the outside corner. That's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Joe Hegdorn. 1 out in the 10th inning. Nobody on base. We're tied 3-3. The Kentucky Wildcats and the Louisville Cardinals here in Lexington. It's been a good one.
Fastball away again.
1-2 pitch. And Morse records his 2nd strikeout of the inning. So Hegdorn goes down swinging. And that'll bring up the big guy, Tucker Howard, out of Paintsville. Howard, that big home run, which tied the ball game back in the 8th, 2-2. And the Cardinals then went on to get a double from Charlie Allen and a single by Darren Opel to take the lead 3-2 before Kentucky was able to tie it up in the bottom of the 8th. Tucker Howard.
Rob, this is unknown territory for Kentucky. First extra inning game of the season. Louisville's 1-2 in extra innings.
I'll tell you, that's something to play through up until this point. You're talking, what, 42 ball games the Wildcats have played, and for this one to be the first one in extra innings. There's a strike.
Well, Billy Thompson went out to talk with Paul Morris before Tucker Howard came to the plate, and no secret about what the discussion was. It's important that location is of the utmost importance in keeping the ball in the ballpark.
0-1 pitch. And it's 1-1.
And he's coming at him with hard stuff. He doesn't want to hang a curveball and give Howard a good look at a pitch.
Big windup by Morse. And the big swing by Howard. That's a strike. It's 1-2.
He's going for that bomb.
Well, there was a strike, but it wasn't in the strike zone. I think Howard a little over anxious, maybe went for a bad pitch. Talking to himself now. Reminding himself.
2 men out in the inning. Base is empty. And Howard looking out at Paul Morse.
Exactly what Billy Thompson wanted. The fastball away. It was a little bit low, a little bit outside, but it was a good pitch.
Count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Allen will be up there next if Howard can keep the inning going here in the top of the 10th.
If you're going to make a mistake against Howard, you want to make it on the outer half of the plate, because if he gets it on the inner half, it's going to be out of here. He's already showed he can do that.
Howard steps out momentarily. Now he's ready to step back in. And this will be a 2-2 delivery now to the Cardinal first baseman. That's a ball, and the count is gone full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Paul Morse, the top closer out of the Kentucky bullpen.
Struck out 4 of the last 5 batters.
Has 5 saves on the year. Here's a ball popped up to the infield. Eddie Brooks is there, so is Michael. It will be Michael just behind second base, and an easy inning for Paul Morse as he sets them down in order. 1, 2, 3 in the 10th. We played through 9.5 innings at Lexington Shively Field, and we're still tied. The Wildcats coming up. It's Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. Extra inning ball game, Kentucky and Louisville. We're getting set now to head to the bottom half of the 10th with the score tied 3-3. Kentucky 3-9-2, Louisville 3-8-1. And Matt Braga, the Kentucky left fielder, will lead it off for the Wildcats here in the 10th.
Rob, Kentucky's had at least 1 hit in 8 of the 9 innings and 7 straight, and have not been able to get anything done.
Ball hit on the ground to second, bobbled momentarily there by Koss, but he makes the play at first base. 1 out. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 10th inning, and that'll bring up the catcher, Billy Thompson.
Big inning for Freibert. He's facing the 2, 3, 4 hitters in this Kentucky lineup, and that's a great way for him to start. 1 pitch, 1 out. There's a good look at Freibert. Done an excellent job. Good look at Billy Thompson.
Thompson officially 0 for 3 on the night. Hit by a pitcher in the 5th inning. He lined into that double play back in the 7th. Grounded to second in the 1st and flew out to left field in the 3rd. And he hits the ball in the air to straightaway center field. That's an easy play for Charlie Allen. Well, quickly, 2 up and 2 down here in the 10th. And if the Wildcats are to win it here in the 10th inning, it will be up to Brad Hindersman.
Well, he's capable of doing it. He has a couple of hits today, and one of them a home run.
Big home run by Hindersman back in the 8th, which, as it turned out, got this ball game into extra innings after Louisville had taken a 3-2 lead in the top half of the inning. Hindersman with a home run to center field to tie it up 3-3, and he goes down to third base coach John Butler for a few words before he steps into the batter's box.
That's probably a couple of things there. Butler is maybe telling Hindersman to be a little more patient, that Kentucky's not making Freibert work hard enough, and also Butler may have used that as a ploy to break Freibert's rhythm. Because obviously Freibert right now is he's thrown 3 pitches maybe, and he's got a couple of outs. So that's pretty smart on Butler's part. Nothing gets past these guys, Rob.
2 outs, nobody on base. 1 ball and no strikes to Hindersman. Hindersman now looks back in as Freibert looks in to get the sign. And the 1-0 pitch.
And obviously they're keeping the ball away from Hindersman.
2 balls and no strikes now. Here's the 2-0. And hit foul, backing out of play. 2-1. And if you're wondering about the Cardinal hitters, should we go to the 11th, it will be Charlie Allen, Darren Opel, and Glenn Myers. Louisville with a little bit of power coming up. Hit on the ground to short, and unable to backhand the ball was Barnes, and he can't get the out at first base.
The score of that a hit, Rob, so that would have been a tough play.
Certainly would have. Barnes came in, tried to backhand it, and had to make the long throw across, and Hindersman is on. That's an infield hit.
Check out the replay. Ball's hit. Barnes goes to his right. Just couldn't make the play. Comes up throwing, but not in time. That would have been a tough play. Hindersman runs pretty well.
So with 2 outs here in the 10th, the Wildcats still have life. Second baseman Eddie Brooks. Hindersman with a lead off first. Brooks takes it inside. That's a ball. 0-1-0.
Most situations you wouldn't expect Hindersman to run, but you never know. Keith Madison may just surprise, may try to, as we said already, generate something, get the Louisville defense moving.
1-0 pitch and a little bit inside. 2-0. Brooks is 1 for 4 on the night. Had a single back in the 4th inning. Grounded out to third in the 2nd. Hit into a double play in the 5th. And
2-0 count. You can do a lot of things here, Rob.
Well, that pitch is low, and it's now gone to 3-0. Freibert retired the first 2 hitters with ease. Matt Braga and Billy Thompson. I believe he got them both on the first pitch. Hindersman then reached on the infield hit, and now a 3-0 count to second baseman Eddie Brooks. Well, it looked like he was taking all the way. That's a call strike. 3-1.
Well, Brooks will probably be, if he gets that same pitch, he's going to be all over. He'll jump all over it because Freibert didn't put much on it. He just wanted to throw a strike and sort of tossed one in there.
Here's the 3-1 delivery. Hit high down the left field line. Harkins is over there, and in fair territory, it looks like he reached back and made the play.
You're absolutely right, Rob. I think his entire body was in foul territory, and the ball was just in fair territory.
Well, I said Harkins. That would have been Glenn Myers, I believe, who's now going into left. But it's the final out of the inning. We have played through 10. Louisville 3, Kentucky 3. We'll be right back. Rob Romley along with Tom Wallace back with you, and we are heading to the top half of the 11th inning with the Kentucky Wildcats and the Louisville Cardinals tied up 3-3. Center fielder Charlie Allen to step in and lead it off for Louisville. It'll be Allen, Opel, and then left fielder Glenn Myers to bat here against Paul Morse in the 11th inning.
Not an easy inning for Morse. Three pretty good hitters.
Allen came in tonight hitting at .307. He swings and misses. Allen struck out in the second, popped out, or rather hit a line drive to third in the fourth, struck out in the sixth. And then after Tucker Howard had hit the solo home run in the eighth, he delivered the double to left center field and later scored the go-ahead run for the Cardinals in the eighth inning. 1 ball and 1 strike now.
Kentucky has Matt Bowles, I think, warming up in the bullpen, Rob. Right-hander. Good look at Paul Morse.
1-1 pitch. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. 1-2.
Well, that pitch was just too good. Not much that Allen could do with it.
Popped up in foul territory. That'll be over near the Kentucky dugout and back and out of play. Charlie Allen, the home run leader on this Louisville club with 12. He also leads the club with 41 RBIs coming in here tonight.
See what Billy Thompson wants. That's going to be a breaking ball.
Here's the 1-2, and Allen taking. It's now an even count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This ball game now has just moved past the 3-hour mark here at Shively Field in Lexington, Kentucky. A ball game that moved very, very rapidly through the early innings. We are now in the 11th. Pitch way outside, and it's a full count now to Charlie Allen. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Allen leading it off for the Cardinals here in the 11th. Nobody on, nobody out. Darren Opel waiting on deck. Glenn Myers will follow. 3-2 pitch. Base hit center field. So a good start for Louisville here in the 11th as Allen picks up his second hit of the night.
Yeah, and Louisville's done a better job than Kentucky of taking advantage of its opportunities. As you see here on the replay, leg kick. Just smacked it right up the middle. That's just a good piece of hitting by Allen.
Yeah, Allen hitting 3-2, delivers the ground single into center field. And Darren Opel, now the third baseman, steps in. Opel tonight with 1 hit in 3 trips. And a single in the 8th inning that brought home Allen with a go-ahead run.
A couple of left-handed hitters coming up back-to-back here, and Kentucky playing the bunt. And Opel didn't show bunt. Charging at the corners, Kentucky was.
Nobody out in the inning. Charlie Allen with a lead at first base. And the 1-0, no, throw over to first. And Allen back safely.
Well, sometimes they'll make a throw in a situation like that, Rob, just in the hopes that the batter might tip off what he's going to do. But Opal didn't. He's been around too long for that.
1-0 pitch. Blowing outside, and it goes down to 2-0. Nobody out here in the 11th, and Charlie Allen with a leadoff single, and now Billy Thompson is going to walk out of the mound and just have a few words with Paul Morse as the activity continues in the Kentucky bullpen down the right field line.
A little pep talk there from Thompson, just to remind the freshman to focus on the hitter.
Louisville riding a 6-game losing streak and trying to break it against big rival Kentucky here on the Wildcats' home field in Lexington. We're tied 3-3 in the 11th. 2-0 pitch to Opal. Just outside, and the count now has gone to 3-0.
Morris is about to dig himself into a real hole here, Rob. Can't afford to walk this guy.
Nobody out. Charlie Allen at first with a leadoff single. And the count now at 3 balls and no strikes to Darren Opal. That's his strike, and it's 3-1.
Keith Madison was on the home plate umpire on that last pitch. Not that one, but the 3-0 one went 3-0. Told Billy Thompson to let the umpire know where the strike zone was.
Morris will throw to first, and Allen safely back. Louisville riding a 6-game losing streak. The Wildcats, on the other hand, riding a 5-game winning streak and trying to extend it to 6 wins here this evening. 3-1 delivery. Cut on and missed, and it's 3-2. Full count.
Ironically, Rob, the last game that Louisville won was against Kentucky.
That's right, 2-1. 8 days ago at Cardinal Stadium over in Louisville.
They did beat Moorhead yesterday in the first game of a doubleheader. That was actually they resumed a game that had been called off because of inclement weather. But then they lost the scheduled game.
3-2 pitch, and fouled at home plate, and the count holds at 3-2.
Gene Baker showing his aggressive approach to the game by sending his runner on that play. Morris doing a good job of coming back from a 3-0 count by throwing strikes.
He's going to need another one right here. Again, the 3-2. Nope, throw over to first base, and again, Allen safely back. Glenn Myers waiting in the on-deck circle. Full count to Darren Opal. 3-2. Charlie Allen a short lead off first. And Morse working from the stretch position. Runner going, pitch hit foul.
Again, a good job there by both the pitcher and the hitter. It was an excellent pitch on the outer half of the plate. It would have been a strike. Opal did a good job of fighting it off and staying alive in the count.
You know, you talked earlier, Tom, about Kentucky's home record. The Wildcats had 12-8 here in their home ballpark, but 11-5 on the road.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they won an SEC game at home.
They are 0-6 in Southeastern Conference play here at home, having been swept by Tennessee and Auburn. Really, you look at those 2 series, those have really dogged Keith Madison's club. You wipe those 2 series out, and really they've had a pretty good year. Here's another throw over to first base.
Well, he had Allen leaning then, and had he made a good throw, he had a real shot at picking him off. You know, the old theory in winning conferences is that you win your home games, you try to split on the road. Kentucky, if they could just split at home, they'd be up higher in the standings. They've done an excellent job on the road.
Wildcats 26-16 overall, 6-9 in the SEC.
Not many teams ever go to Florida and sweep the Gators.
Another throw over to first base. Opal now steps back in. Morse looks in to get the sign from catcher Billy Thompson. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out with Allen leading off first. And the runner going again. Throw down to second. And there's the tag at second base. And that's a double play.
Well, that's Billy Thompson he just has one of the most accurate arms. It's one thing to have a strong arm, but if you don't put it on the money, you don't get runners out. And that throw was on the money. You could not draw a line any straighter. That was an absolutely perfect throw.
So Opal strikes out, and on the throw down by Billy Thompson to second, they get the tag on a sliding Charlie Allen, and that records a double play, and quickly there are 2 out in the inning. Good throw, and look at the tag right there, applied by Jeff Michael.
And Opal did Kentucky a favor by going after a bad pitch. It was ball 4.
And a no ball, 1 strike count now to Glenn Myers. Myers over 2. He has batted twice. Came into the ball game back in the 6th inning in place of Sean Harkins.
Kentucky's done a good job containing this guy. He's a threat. He's a real hitter.
.252 batting average. Has hit 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Foul ball, and it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Temperature now has dropped somewhat from what it was earlier in the evening, but it is still a most pleasant night to sit out under the stars and watch collegiate baseball. Ideal weather on this April evening in Lexington, Kentucky. 1-2 pitch, hit foul. Count holding at 1-2. Wildcats were nursing a 2-1 lead as we went to the top half of the 8th inning. Louisville able to tie it up on a home run, took the lead on a double and a single. Wildcats came back on a home run by Brad Hindersman to tie it in the